Welcome to Tavern Talk 716. Coming to you from 60 feet down in the bunker. Here are the hosts. International best-selling author, Keith White Jr. and Duran Gomez.
Oh, hey!
Oh, man.
You
sneak up on us.
Hey, everybody. This is Tavern Talk 716. I am best-selling children's author Keith White Jr. And today I am Tango Torrez. And with me is...
Hello, I am today only Salvatore Morocco.
Whoa! The one... Whoa! Even Tango Torrez is Salvatore
AKA
Morocco.
the main event.
The main event, Salvatore Morocco. Cheers. All right, here we go. This mask is great because I can drink beer with it. So, we are here for Tavern Talk 716. I had not planned on wearing this mask for the whole show, but the red light's on, so there's nothing I can do about it. So, me and my buddy, Senior Bottle Topper, are here together. We are the new, strongest, most fierce tag team in all of professional wrestling. We call ourselves Dos Drunkos.
Dos Drunkos. That's two Drunkos.
Two Drunkos. Not just one Drunko, but two Drunko.
Well, I feel we could start with last week.
You keep looking over there because there's a bug flying around. He's going to fly by the camera eventually. So, and I keep looking at him too, and I notice we're both doing it. There is somehow down here in the underground bunker, when one of us opened up the flap, a bee or something flew all the way down here, and he doesn't like the underground because he keeps hitting the floor, and he crawls around, and he's flying around and flipping and flying. So if one of us kills him in the middle of the show, you'll know why, and if we're looking around, that's why. Oh,
also,
yeah. Tango Torrez!
Also,
I got him!
I feel like we could discuss...
Ole!
Last week's show, we visited the terminal.
Oh, yes. Last week, we were at the Nerd Terminal again.
We tried to return to the Nerd Terminal to get Nickel T. Buffalo.
Yeah, we went to acquire Nickel T. Buffalo. He was not having it. He insisted that the store will, in fact, reopen, so he is going to stay and hang out. So I guess early enough in the show here, we're going to cut to Nickel live via satellite, see how he's doing.
Last week didn't go so well.
Well, last week didn't go so well because we were at the Nerd Terminal, and he just didn't want to leave.
My apologies. 2 weeks ago didn't go so well. In fact, he was locked in.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago, we actually woke him from his slumber on the couch at the terminal.
So I'm hoping that we will have more success with our correspondence today.
I'm hoping the same, and I'm also hoping that this string stays out of my mouth. I don't know how Tango Torrez wore this all the time. You ever see that guy? He would brush his teeth with this thing on. You would see him in the shower with this thing on.
Remember that one time he woke up and it was the wrong way and he thought he was blind?
He thought he went blind.
Oh, that Tango Torrez.
That Tango Torrez is quite the kook. In fact, we may introduce some of those segments here into this show at some point. Because now that we have this show, we can do whatever we want with it. We had a producer, but we got rid of him. Ron! See, even Tango Torrez doesn't like
Gave
Ron.
him the axe.
So we can put whatever we
But
want.
yeah, Day in the Life of Tango Torrez. I always enjoyed those segments.
Yeah, those are coming soon to Tavern Talk 716. We're in the bunker. We're not in a tavern. We might as well have a little fun with it. So as we were saying, we're going to cut to Nickel T. Buffalo, who is at the Nerd Terminal in Cheektowaga. So we're going to cut to him via satellite right now.
Nickel, can you hear us?
I think he's looking at comic books.
Huh.
Oh, he looks like he found one.
He's excited.
Ooh! Oh! And cut out.
Oh, well, I hope the cameraman is okay.
Well, I'm not sure exactly what happened. I'm not getting anything, so... Oh, well.
That looked rough.
Well, we'll check back with Nickel next week and see what he's doing, because I don't know. So,
seldom do when it comes to Nickel T. Buffalo.
Nickel T. Buffalo is his own kind of animal. And that kind of animal is a buffalo.
Of the nickel variety.
Right. I feel like I got to lean forward because you can't see the emotion on my face through this thing.
It is hard to sell, from what Tango would tell me back.
I think I could sell a lot of stuff with this on. I'd be like, "Who wants to buy things?" And people would come right up to me.
What do you have? I have
what are you
these
selling?
orange bananas. I'll take 10 of them.
I wasn't gonna say anything like that. I was talking like, comic books or something.
You can make more money off of old bananas because they're going to go bad anyways.
Well, then why would someone want to buy them?
That's why you've got to be good at marketing.
But I'm great at marketing. I wouldn't want to sell old bananas.
Moving on.
I'm smiling real big under this mask right now.
So
Why are you wearing this robe? Why don't you tell us why you're wearing a robe?
Because the quarantine...
Hugh Hefner.
The life in the quarantine is getting outrageously out of hand, so I have just decided to start wearing whatever my heart desires. And today, it was a Salvatore Morocco robe.
But also the Salvatore Morocco shirt.
That happened to be next to the Salvatore Morocco robe, and I wasn't wearing any clothes, so it just made sense.
So, moments before I arrived, you were in the nude?
I've been in this all day.
In the robe or in the nude?
It's a robe.
You had to think about it for far too long.
Luckily, it's a long descension down the ladder. It gives
It
me
is.
lots of time to put clothes.
That's it. You heard the flap open. You're like, "Oh no! I better get dressed." And you started looking around.
15 minutes I had.
Yeah, I've only got 15 or 20 minutes till he gets down that pea-soaked ladder. And then by the time I got down here, you were like sitting down, reading a magazine.
I was ready to go, as
You were
I usually am.
reading one of these awesome comic books we've got behind us here. Ghost Rider: Spirit of Vengeance. I feel kind of like Ghost Rider with this mask on.
Your head is so not on fire.
Dude, I'm
Oh,
always
is it
on-
warm in that mask?
It is a little warm in here, but I'm always on fire.
All right, then. As I was going to say,
Olay!
I usually have a handy-dandy notebook where I have all my writings and musings and topics for our show. But I threw that away 2 weeks ago and I have yet to find it.
That is correct.
We're going to go without topics again once
Yeah,
again
but
this
last week you had a different notebook.
I left that one at the terminal.
Oh,
I think Nickel T stole it.
I'll bet he did, because he probably wants to keep a dream journal while he's at the terminal.
Yeah, so far, a little bit of hiccups with this topic notebook, but we're going to get it back on track.
I will say that the topic we talked Resident Evil last week.
Yeah.
You told a story about Shane Douglas's wiener.
Nude Shane Douglas. I didn't specifically refer it as wiener.
You just
Or
did.
penis, or
His
phallus.
ding dong.
Or dangle.
His dangly ding dong.
His peepers.
What the hell are we talking about? So last week, though, we did talk Resident Evil. That was a pretty good topic. And actually, 2 weeks ago, you threw the notebook away, but we did end up talking, we talked main event wrestling, we talked championship wrestling, we talked about no crowds in the arenas, we talked about, we had like quite a few things we talked about 2 weeks ago. Last week at the terminal, also I would like to tell everybody out there, I apologize for the video quality on last week's show. The lighting in that place, we didn't bring any of our lights or any of our equipment that we have.
Because it's a long haul up.
Right.
Up
You're not going to
silo.
carry these big industrial light things up this wooden pea-soaked ladder. And, you're going to be trying to carry it over your shoulder. You're climbing one arm. You're slipping. You're getting splinters. So we didn't bring any of that stuff. Instead, we used just the natural lighting, au naturel. Unfortunately, as the show went on last week, the show started and it looked pretty good. And by the end, it looked like we were standing like in the sky. And we were just a couple of twinkly stars, which we are a couple of twinkly stars. But it was just real dark. So I apologize to everybody out there for last week's show. I feel the content was good, but you weren't watching a whole lot. It was pretty dark. So this week we're back to the bunker, we're back to the lights, and we're back to the nonsense.
All those are facts.
I took a drink there. I thought you would talk. So, what's been going on in the world of Salvatore Morocco? This is weird.
Well, Salvatore Morocco, as you know, is retired.
What's Salvatore Morocco been doing in retirement? Asks Tango Torrez with glasses.
Well,
As you can tell, Tango Torrez is retired too because now he wears glasses.
well, as you already know, we're both essential workers.
Hey!
And,
Well, yeah, we're here.
My job insists that I'm there all the time, so I don't have much free time outside of that. But I have been playing Resident Evil 3. I almost beat it in 3 days. I kind of feel cheated almost because I'm not the best gamer, so I shouldn't be defeating a game in 3 days.
So you feel cheated
But
because you're not good at video games? You feel cheated by God?
no, I just feel it's overpriced for the amount.
Oh, you're
the amount
saying
of game
that
time
you're
you get.
saying that as a gamer who's not necessarily awesome at games, and you doing it in 3 days, you're saying that someone who's like amazing at video games might beat that in like a day,
And the whole, yes, absolutely.
and it's not worth $60 or whatever.
It is pretty. It's pretty steep.
Well, games cost that much nowadays,
I understand.
unless you buy like I just recently picked up Crayola Scoot, and it's a game where you ever play Splatoon?
And that's a free download?
No. It was like $5. I was gonna get there. I think it was $4.99 or $5.99. And you ever play Splatoon?
I don't know that either.
Okay, well, Splatoon is this game where you have a team and you run around with these like paint guns. It's kind of like a versus game. You run around with these paint guns and you can like jump inside the paint and stuff, and like the paint goes everywhere. It's a fun game.
Sounds
Splatoon's super fun. So
Sounds pretty psychedelic.
it's pretty fun. So Crayola Scoot is like that mixed with Tony Hawk.
Oh.
So you're on scooters and you do tricks and paint shoots out and everything, and you're like versing other people. So it's like Tony Hawk and Splatoon mixed together into this $5.99 game that I bought on sale on my Xbox.
Okay.
So there you go.
All right.
You could buy that instead.
I feel like talking about paintballing makes me miss GoldenEye in paintball mode.
Oh, GoldenEye is so good. Actually, just not long ago, I played the new remake of GoldenEye.
Okay.
Not new. I should say not new.
The PlayStation 2 remake?
No, PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360.
Okay.
Because I got it for Xbox 360. I actually bought it before the quarantine. We went out to eat at Duff's the one night, and in the Eastern Hills Mall, there's this little tiny video game store. At least there was, and I think it's only open a couple days a week. But we were waiting.
Now
they're
it's
like,
open no days a week.
now it's open no days a week. So you go to Duff's and they're like, oh, it'll be a half hour. Here's your buzzer, and you can go do whatever you want.
Oh, okay.
So you don't know that, but it's like Olive Garden, where back in the day you'd go to Olive Garden or Red Lobster and they give you a little buzzer.
Yeah,
you go walk around the mall
with them.
So they did this at Duff's. I think actually they said we'll page you on your phone or something. I don't know that they had the little buzzer, but anyway, I'm off topic again. So I go to this video game, this little tiny video game store. And it's really, you walk in and it's like just this little counter and there's a guy. And I walk up and I'm looking in the glass and I'm just peeking and I see GoldenEye for Xbox 360. I'm like, what is this? GoldenEye? And it's the only game in the whole case with no price on it. I go, excuse me, sir, how much is GoldenEye? And he goes, I don't know. He pulls it out and he looks at it. He goes, and he pulls the disc out and he goes, oh, it's pretty scratched. I go, oh, is it? Like, because I don't care. As long as it plays, I don't care if it's scratched. I go, oh, is it? And he goes, yeah. I'll give you a deal on it if you're still interested. I don't know. What kind of deal are we talking? He goes, I don't know, $2.
Wow, that's even lower.
Slam!
That's even lower than I would have offered.
I know. He just said, what do you want to pay for it? I'd have totally ripped myself off.
Yeah.
Instead, I was like, oh, here's $2. I gave the $2 and then took GoldenEye home. It is super, super fun. Have you played the remake?
I'd have to go through my collection. I thought I had a PlayStation 2 remake of GoldenEye.
They made a
but it might have
PlayStation 2
been
sequel for GoldenEye. GoldenEye Rogue Agent was on PlayStation 2.
No, I feel like I had the GoldenEye remake.
And that one actually had a guy with a golden eye in it.
Oh.
The cover, I think, shows his like golden eye on the cover. I think it was called Rogue Agent. That was actually a sequel to GoldenEye.
Okay.
Not a remake. The remake is called GoldenEye Reloaded, I think.
I want to say I do have that remake.
Then you have it probably for PS3.
We did enjoy it.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it quite a bit. And it stuck to the original GoldenEye like enough, but it kind of diverged at the same time in different places. So I liked that it added to it, but still kept all the things you remembered and loved from the original. So that was a lot of fun. So I'm glad you brought up GoldenEye because we could discuss a game that I paid $2 for at the mall. And yeah, ole!
Probably and arguably, one of the greatest games is GoldenEye for the N64.
It is. It is. I would say, though, if you were to play GoldenEye now and you'd never played it before, you would probably not feel it.
Okay. Yes. If you're used to the Halos and the
There's
Call of Duties.
a huge part of GoldenEye's attraction today is nostalgia.
Okay.
A lot of it, you play GoldenEye now with a bunch of people, and you it's still fun, but a lot of that is that you remember how much you used to love it. It's like, it's not like some games, like a kid today can pick up Super Mario Brothers and still think, and never have played it, and they will still play it and think it's fun. Because it's just super simple and super easy to pick up, and it's super fun. But if you were to give a 10-year-old GoldenEye now, they would look at you like there's something wrong with you. They would not want to play that. And even if they did start playing it, they wouldn't be that into it, unfortunately.
Yes.
Whereas you play it and you're just like, landmines
Greatest thing ever!
I want to put landmines all over.
Oh, I love proximity mines. It's the
See,
bomb right there.
I knew you were a proximity mine guy.
Sneaky tactics all day.
I remember those days. Playing at Anthony's house and stuff. Getting 4 people together. Oh my god. So, I feel like this is a different kind of show today. I feel weird in this mask. I feel like I'm even more animated than the usual. I even killed a bee during this episode. So,
So, killer bees also wear masks.
The killer bees did wear a mask, that's true. And I killed one of them. Tango Torrez killed one of the killer bees. Ole. And if you want to learn more about Tango Torrez, you could purchase the Color With Me adventure books of Keith White Jr. available anywhere books are sold. You can find Tango Torrez and Salvatore Morocco. You can find them at keithwhitejr.com or Amazon or wherever books are sold. Ole.
So right here, it's going to say,
Oh, yeah.
cheap plug.
No, it won't say cheap plug. It'll say
Cheap plug.
keithwhitejr.com.
Ole.
Ole. There we go.
We don't have our handy dandy nifty timer for this week's show.
We don't have a timer for this week's show, so we're just winging it here. In fact, just a moment ago, I thought about that we didn't have a timer, so we're winging it. So if we go long or we go short, maybe we'll add a Life and Times of Tango Torrez to this episode.
Did we already?
We did cut to Nickel.
We went to talk to Nickel. Okay.
That was on you. You did that. That was all you. Tango Torrez can pour a beer. Did you see that?
Oh wow!
Boom!
Color me impressed.
Color Me Adventures. Available at keithwhitejr.com, Amazon, Barnes & Noble, wherever books are sold.
So I really wish... Whoa. I really wish there more things were going on because we'd have more
to
talk about.
There's good things and there's bad things about the quarantine. One nice thing is we have time to do the show. Like, it's not like normally... Not that we weren't doing the show, because we were doing the show before the quarantine, but it was really like that time that we did the show was really all the time we had.
Yep.
It was like pretty much our free time was dedicated to the show because we didn't have time for anything else. Now the quarantine's going, we could film every day, really. Like, theoretically, we could be out here every day filming. But there's nothing going on, and I'm not going to spend an hour every day talking about Governor Cuomo and what he said on television because
we're not that kind of show.
Yeah, you probably already watched him say it all. I don't need to tell you what he said because you watched what he said. That's why the ratings of everything on television is tanking right now because everybody's watching the news because it's all about what's going on with the quarantine and when we can all go back to life or if we ever get to go back to life. And I do actually want to say a couple of weeks ago when we interviewed Keith and Duran, not Tango Torrez and Salvatore Morocco, interviewed Blackjack Phoenix. Oh, Jason.
Good catch.
Well, it's maybe as Tango Torrez, I would call him Blackjack Phoenix.
Indeed.
Anyway, when those guys interviewed that guy from the Nerd Terminal in that nighttime talk show setting that didn't go probably as well as originally planned, Keith, not Tango Torrez, had mentioned that because the coronavirus had come up, as it does, and he had mentioned how if people can wear masks and go to the store, then the world can open back up and people can get back to work. But what he meant by that, because there was some people online who didn't necessarily agree with
that.
Right,
it could be taken out of context. What
he meant was that it seems like they're too far in the middle. Like you really gotta like either send
Go
everybody
one
home,
way or the other.
send everybody home so this thing goes away, or just let people live their lives. I wasn't trying to say, you know, who cares? Just let everybody go back to work. If people die, they die. Because there are people saying that. And that's awful.
Right, and that's a bit extreme.
But my point was, you know, why is it okay for me to put a mask on and go into the supermarket? Because you know, there's a good chance I can get sick in there. But I can't go to the restaurant and sit down and eat, and I can't go, you know, to the nerd terminal and buy some comics and some toys. But I can be shoulder to shoulder with everybody at Wegmans because there's nothing else open. So everybody's at Wegmans and Walmart and Target. That's where everyone is because there's nowhere else to go.
Right. Well, restaurants will make sense in this scenario where you're saying we all go back, but we have to wear protection. Restaurants will make sense to remain closed because people are eating. It's harder to eat and wear a mask. But your average consumption of products like the nerd terminal,
wear a mask.
That would make perfect sense for it to remain open, and as long as you're wearing your mask.
Right. Or, you know, like a movie theater. You could open a movie theater and just not sell every seat. Mm-hmm. And everyone's got to wear the mask, as long as they're not taking the mask off. Or the drive-in. The drive-in's not going to be open this year because they're worried about people getting sick and they don't want that to happen. You're in your car.
You're in your car.
You're not even getting out of. You don't have to get out of your car. Your own car.
Bring your own snacks, so you don't have to utilize the snack bar.
Right.
It's just that easy.
I guess my thought is just that if you're going to go with one, either do curbside even at supermarkets. Supermarkets could do curbside. You could very easily order everything online and then pull up and load your car up and it's waiting outside for you. You know, so either do that and really flatten the curve like you should be doing, or go the other way and open more things. But we got this wishy-washy in the middle thing, and it's helping, but it's not helping like it could.
Right, I feel like the powers that be, and I'm not going to discuss any names because I don't like most of them, but the powers that be are trying to please everyone. And my mentality from the get-go should have been, okay, you have this amount of time, get everything straight that you need to get straight, purchase your groceries, make sure everyone comes home, and we're doing quarantine. 2 weeks, 4 weeks, maybe even 4 weeks. 2 weeks or 4 weeks, whatever it took, and then boom, it's over. Everybody goes back to normal.
Right.
But no, they wanted to, can I say pussyfoot? They wanted to pussyfoot around and keep everyone happy and try to maintain some semblance of normalcy. And here we are.
Right,
and
now
it keeps getting extended.
Right, and now it just keeps going and going. Where does it end? That was my point. Is it's just the way you're doing it, it never ends. You're slowing it, but you're not stopping it, so it never ends the way we're going. It's going to be like, oh, now it's May 15th. Then May 15th comes, and then it's like, well, it got a little better. Now it's June 15th. And then June 15th comes, now it's July 15th. And then it's like, oh, hey, Happy New Year. We're still in the house.
And then next thing you know, it's going to be 2028. And they're like, well, we're going to change it from being 2028 to just 8 AC.
AC, huh?
After Corona.
So we have to wait till 8 years after Corona before we can go outside.
No, they're just going to rename the years. They're going to start a new timeline.
Wow, we're going to start a whole new timeline,
because Corona's not going anymore.
But Corona's like Thanos.
Yeah.
And he snapped, man. And
so
we're slowly disintegrating.
Whole new world.
See, he knew what he was doing.
I know. It's working in real life. Cat Thanos. Avengers, avenge me!
Avenge him, Avengers. This mask is really getting hot. I really think we should be introducing these Day in the Life of Tango Torrez's into our show here.
Yes, absolutely. 100%. We need to start bringing the Day in Life because those are
because now we've got this platform.
Yeah.
And everybody out there has no idea which. We already discussed it a little bit about him brushing his teeth and wearing the mask passport and everything. But nobody out there has actually seen any of that stuff. So, like, we should be using this platform for more than a half an hour of jibber jab. And, you know, Salvatore, Morocco, and Tango Torrez have all the ideas. If Keith and Duran were here, they'd just be getting drunk and talking about wrestling and talking about scrubs.
Right, they don't see the bigger picture.
Right, not like us.
Whereas we do. We have the minds capable of foresight to know that you take this platform that you have and you keep an interesting talk segment and then you interject other visual things that are captivating.
Because this is the universal symbol for sprinkle. Or thriller.
And then you get yourself a really multifaceted show.
Right, with lots of different characters and themes. You really change it up. You make it like how we've been cutting to our friend Nickel T. Buffalo down there at the Nerd Terminal.
Do you remember that little period where Nickel T and Tango Torrez were roommates?
Oh my God, that would probably work out well in the day in the life of Tango Torrez. We could see a little bit of those that time. Those two,
those were times. Those were some funny times.
Oh, those two, you want to talk an odd couple. Tango Torrez and Nickel T. Buffalo, roommates living together in a tiny little apartment. Now that's an odd couple. Let me tell you that right now.
Those were some funny days.
I'm going to take a sip of beer. Attempt to with this mask again. Here we go.
So basically,
Olé!
we can go all day on the shenanigans that took place between Tango Torrez and Nickel T. Buffalo.
So welcome to
hopefully in the coming weeks we can start showing you clips of just what we're talking about, so we don't sound like complete loons.
Because this has been so far like a 20-minute pitch meeting for a thing you aren't watching that doesn't yet exist. So I hope you're enjoying the ins and the outs of Hollywood. This is the pitch meeting for a thing that probably won't get made. That's what most of Hollywood is. Pitch meetings for things that never get made.
Oh, but these will.
But these will get made. Quarantine to be damned.
Be damned indeed.
My glasses are fogging up.
I feel like that's a good spot to close up shop.
Oh, we're going to close up shop already? But the Tango time tells me it's time to go.
Home? Go where, Tango?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. All right.
So for Tango Torrez, Keith White Jr.
and Salvatore Morocco, a.k.a. the main event,
this has been Tavern Talk 716. We're going to say cheers to everyone out there.
Salud.
We'll see you down the road.
Thank you for tuning in.
Greatest tag team in wrestling today. Olé! I don't know how much time we've got left. There's probably music playing. Oh, why would you do that?
Do we have credits? We should get credits.